I've written 2.5 books so far, not very many, and my first book isn't even out yet, but it's coming out this July. It's called Phoebe Finds Her Voice. It's part of a series about a drama club called Star Makers, and the second book's called Polly Plays Her Part, and the third one, which I'm halfway through, is called Sam's Secret Sister. I always wanted to be on the stage when I was growing up. But I did always write, so I won a poetry competition when I was at primary school, and I had a script published in the Evening Standard when I was at secondary school that I'd written for the teachers to perform at my secondary school, but I never thought I wanted to be a writer. I'm not sure anyone could be a writer, but I certainly think everybody's got ideas in their heads, and anybody could have a go at writing. The advice I'd give to young writers would be to sort of throw the rules out of the windows. I already see my children coming home from school saying we're not allowed to start a sentence with and, or we mustn't start a sentence with but, and I really think that this doesn't foster a love of writing. I think you have to throw the rules out of the window and just put down whatever you feel like writing about. Just enjoy the process. Have a go. Take a notebook with you everywhere, because you can get ideas at the strangest of times. I have to always have a notebook and a pen by the side of the bath. You never know when you're going to get a good idea, so scribble things down, keep them. They might turn into a longer story later on. I do quite a detailed outline, and I fill in the outline chapter by chapter over a number of weeks, and then I start writing when I feel I've got enough material to sort of get going. I can't just start with a blank page and without lots of notes and ideas first. I spent 4 years writing the first book and 4 months writing the second book, so it has been a different experience. I've had to work much faster and work to a deadline. I read loads, I get ideas from everywhere. It's a whole mixture of things that helps me to write. My work I find very inspirational because I work as a teacher and I run a theatre company, so I'm working with children all the time, and it's their stories really that have found their way into my writing, so I find that very inspirational. My background does influence my writing because I write about families and real people and issues and problems, and obviously everything that I've been through in my life so far has fed into my writing, so yes, I do think it has influenced my writing. I was an Enid Blyton fan. Mallory Towers were my favourites. The Magic Faraway Tree. My Mallory Towers books were like friends to me. I just read them over and over again. I took them with me on holidays. They were very special. Mallory Towers is about a group of girls at a boarding school, and I've written about a group of children at a drama club, and it's just about their everyday problems and their highs and lows, and yes, I think it probably has. I mean, everything you read sort of influences your writing in some way. My books are about an ordinary bunch of children, and they join a Saturday drama club. So whilst in one respect the books are about their everyday problems, in another respect they've got the magic of putting on this performance at the end of the books. So it's a mixture of sort of everyday problems and the magic of performing. What I like best about being a writer is being able to be in control of my story, do whatever I want with it, no rules. It's the creativity. I like being by myself, so it can be quite a lonely endeavour, but I quite enjoy that. And I just enjoy creating, so I find magic, there's a magic in words, putting words together to make a story. The challenges of being a writer are writing when you don't feel like writing, editing and editing and editing, letting go of material that you thought was fantastic when you wrote it, but when your editor tells you it has to go, you have to be very strict with yourself. Once it's gone, you often don't miss it at all. So I do think that there are certain elements of writing that can be taught. It's a craft, so you can learn how to get better at it. The way I write now is certainly better than the way I wrote when I first started. I feel passionate about books, words, writing, children reading, which is why I'm so excited to be part of this competition. I love to inspire children to want to read and to have a love of books. I ran a bookmaking club at my school last year, and it was quite interesting because I thought it would attract all the children that were really into writing, but it actually attracted a group of children that were really into making things because they wanted to make the books. And when they realised they had to write a story, it sort of threw them a little bit because they hadn't thought about producing a story, just producing a book. But I sort of said, rules out the window, you can write in a spiral, you can put a big word and a small word, you can have no words on a page, and they just produced the most amazing books, and I found that very inspirational. If I wasn't a writer, in my fantasy world, I'd be starring in a West End musical, singing and dancing and acting. I was really very, very excited to be asked to be part of the competition this year. As soon as I'd got off the phone, I ran upstairs and I wrote my story starter. Anything that gets children excited about writing, it's fantastic.